Hello everyone, welcome to another guide for the Offshore Corp Talk Forum. Today we will discuss one of the basic concepts of the industry, the offshore bank account. We'll have a look at some of the reasons for opening one, the benefits of using it, but also some misconceptions that are floating around. If you're new, offshore bank accounts might cause a bit of confusion. There's so much information out there that you barely know what to believe anymore. When you think about the offshore companies and banks, you may automatically think about the recent scandals involving celebrities and politicians, such as the Panama Papers. And to the average individual, an offshore bank account is either for corrupt politicians who need to hide their money, celebrities trying to dodge taxes, or the super wealthy ones trying to keep a low profile. But you see, this is only a myth. The truth is, you don't have to be a millionaire to have an offshore bank account. Don't need to be a successful business person. Anyone out there can get an offshore bank account for all kinds of reasons. So what do you need to know? Just to keep it simple, offshore means foreign or abroad. An offshore bank account is a regular bank account. It's just opened in a completely different country. There are no other differences. You can open both a business or a current bank account. The offshore bank accounts also seem a little exotic. Panama is a popular destination for entrepreneurs. Cyprus is another good choice, not to mention Dubai. There are also several islands in the Caribbean that also operate as tax havens. They're just as attractive. The good news is you don't always have to go there to open a bank account. You might like to. The banks in some countries don't require your physical presence. You can do everything online, or you can hire a service to help you out. Obviously, you still have to send some documents in, but you can do everything online. Now, as hard as it might sound to believe, 1% of the US population has an offshore bank account. And why would you need one? To lots of people, an offshore bank account is like a backup plan. Unless you live in a stable country, both financially and politically, there's always a risk. Take Venezuela, for example. The system unfortunately collapsed in 2010, causing hyperinflation, starvation, disease, crime, all of which made the local currency completely useless. Those who had an offshore account in a different currency had nothing to worry about. So having an offshore bank account is not what the media wants you to believe. It's not all about crime or tax evasion, nor is it about secret stashes or shady income. Instead, you diversify your assets. Basically, you avoid keeping all of your eggs in one basket. Pretty common sense, right? Besides, you don't really need to choose a tax haven, especially if you don't have a big company. You don't need to go to Dubai, Panama, or the Bahamas. You can also get an offshore bank account in Georgia or Hong Kong. There are lots of countries out there with sound economies, which is what you want for your offshore account. The necessity of an offshore bank account is even more obvious if you run a business. Some businesses might face a lawsuit at some point or other, and having some money abroad will offer that extra layer of protection. The tax issue is just as important. This is the age of globalization. You can travel and settle down pretty much anywhere. You can also register a business abroad. There's nothing wrong with that. If the business income in your country is 25% and a different country charges you only 10%, why would you stick to your own? An offshore bank account is just as useful for the freelancers who get paid in different currencies, or if you want to save up in a specific currency. Those who travel for business purposes could also do with an offshore bank account, as you can save fees and taxes for exchange rates and for the international transactions. The same applies if you're planning to move permanently to a different country or even retire. You get the idea. There are plenty of reasons to get an offshore bank account. We've just barely scratched the surface. If you find a good bank and an account without too many fees, just go for it. But you should also know that different countries have different rules. Not all banks in the world will accept foreigners. Not all banks will accept foreign companies. Just do your homework and research your options before making a decision. Take your time. There are so many reasons why you might need an account. Just learn about different countries, what they can offer you. Also, we have some great resources available on the Offshore Court Talk Forum. Sign up and take a look around. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.